Sit up straight and tall. So we're about power and not using power to do all your yoga poses. That we're working yoga for other than power, right? Because if you're working for power, your poses are going to become violent. Okay? So sit up straight and tall. There are all sorts of balances in a yoga pose, right? So at first, we're kind of trying to figure out how to seat more equal on your sits bones. If you haven't noticed it, you're sitting on one sits bones harder than the other. Everyone does, right? And so you try to like lift up or do whatever you need to do to try to get more equal. And as you know which one's a little heavier, so Russell, I would say you got a little more weight on your left hip, on your left sitting bone than your right, which means I want you to push down through your left heel a little bit more than your right. Your left heel a little bit more than your right to try to like get the shift to go over, right? So there's a balance from side to side. In every yoga pose, there's a balance between the front and the back. So I want everyone to like, and this comes from surrender, the back side of yoga poses are really important. So the balance between the front and the back is going to be really important in a yoga pose. Back body awareness will soften your will. Okay, we'll temper it, so it's not so much about power. So balance your head over your neck. So as you feel more equal on your sitting bones, more equal in your feet, start to lift up the front of the chest. Broaden across the collarbones, but also across the back ribs, which would be more here, across here, okay? So and then drop a curtain from your base of your neck down to the tailbone, but make it a silk curtain because back body awareness resists your will. Soften your jaw, the inside of your mouth. Let go of your day. Prepare your mind to do yoga. Notice the inhalation, and probably the air goes more into one lung than the other, goes through one nostril more than the other. So again, the balance is side to side, but it's even with how your breath is going in and out of your body. So as you inhale through the nose if possible, keep your mind equally in each sitting bone and your awareness equally in each foot. So as you inhale, the breath touches where your mind's already been. Let go of your day. Prepare your mind to do yoga. Know that the inward dimension can also be vibrant. That's what asana is teaching you, is that the balance between what's controllable and what's not controllable actually come together to form an asana, to form a yoga pose. Keep letting your body lead your mind, not so much your mind lead your body. Feel your breath. Good. And then open your eyes. So it's not just that the chest has to lift, and we can see this best on Carol, right? So the upper thoracic, and we're going to get on the floor soon, the upper thoracic needs to come forward as the front side of the body lifts, okay? That's a balance. And what happens for Carol, you're going to put your hand behind her back, right down in here. What happens for Carol is because of what's happening in the way her muscles are changing, that there, see, like already, is that okay? Is that hurt? You kid? No. Right? Is that she needs help getting this forward so this can lift, so the back body can become more aware from base of the neck to tailbone. And so a lot of you need this, right, is that there's a balance. So it's not only the lift of the front side of the chest, It's actually moving the backside forward and lifting the chest. Now, as you do that, I want you to press through your legs. Because notice when you press through your legs, you're going to fall backwards. So you've got to figure out how to balance again when there's more action. So this is going to be in all poses, right? This like balance, not just from side to side, not just physical, but from inside to out and from front to back. Okay? All right. So I'd like you to come forward. Come forward on your sitting bones. Lean forward. Ground down through your feet and press down through your feet and lift your chest. Lift it up like so. You're coming like this. Then I want you to move through the balance point again and come forward, right? Ground, rise up. And as you rise up, bring your upper thoracic back and broaden across the collarbones. Front and back body, right? So what's going to happen is assistants are going to come. So you're going to come forward. You're going to come forward again. As you rise up, we're going to push you right between your shoulder blades. So come on, rise back up. And we're going to keep our thumb right there as you rise up. So you get a sense. Come forward again. Come forward. So the press in on the back comes in as you rise. So this has to learn to come forward as you rise. Now this is going to be in all twists. It's going to be in a whole bunch of things. One more time. Forward. So you're not just like lifting your collarbones. You're coming forward from the backside. And notice as soon as you start from the backside, you'll feel your legs more. And then lift up. And come on up. So it's your spine, and then release. Your spine is actually come forward again. From the backside. Lengthen the front body and lift your chest, but do it from the backside too. Come on back up. Good, and then come on down. All right, let's get down to the mats. It's going to get harder now, not easier. Yeah, Russell, ask for help. Watch where the blocks are so he doesn't trip. All right, so what I'd like is then be able to get down to the floor. I gotta watch what Michael can do. Get those of you that can sit up on your own, have the chair come in front of you. So can you tip your chair down a little bit? And so what I'd like is for you to get a bolster. Right? So Carol gets a bolster in front of her. All right. So now I want you to, as much as you can, so you might not put your hands up on the chair. The chair might not work as good for you, so don't worry about that. What I want, so forgetting your name again, because I'm horrible with names. It's not you, it's me. So bring your hands under the chair. So if you can sit down, so Russell may need someone to sit back to back with him. We'll see when he sits down. You doing okay, Russ? Russell? You doing okay? Okay. All right, so I want you to have your hands on the chair, right? Bent him a little bit. Oh, he's pretty loose. That's fabulous. Damn, man. Bend your knees a little bit, Russell, so you can like not have so much tension. How much are you helping him, Kathy? A fair amount? Yeah. Okay. All right, so what I want you to do is use the reference of the chair, push down on the chair, go a little bit lower, JD, in Michael's back, and I want you to lift, press down on the chair, and lengthen your spine up. So again, right now you're practicing bringing your back body into the pose. right? I'm telling you, this is, according to yogis, in the center in there is the seat of consciousness, right? The seat of the self. So I want you to and then release. I want you to just practice pressing down and bringing your spine into your body, right? But remember the feeling of doing it. So you might want to scoot a little closer to the chair, right? So I want you to practice. Remember the hand in at the shoulder blades as you press down and lengthen the front of your spine, the front part of your spine. So start to come up, right? Yeah, lengthen and go up and again, right? So you're hitting and then release. So you're hitting down and and I want you to do it like it's a breath. Hit it down, rise up, release. Hit down with your hands, lift your chest, right? Back and forth. And then release again. And remember, you're trying to, the tendency, and Kat, you don't need to push on his feet for right now, let him, because that might make him fall back a little bit. And I need you helping other people too. So, all right, so remember the finger between your shoulder blades, right? So you're hitting down, and the tendency here is you're gonna lift your chest from your low back. But I'd like everyone to have a touch in between the shoulder blades again as you hit down. Don't just initiate from where it's really easy. Start trying to figure out how the upper thoracic comes forward in a pose. So, Kathy, you can push with your back even in that spot. So this is really this idea of getting, Carol, your spine to move forward and back in your body is a good form of exercise for you. It's subtle. It's not a big movement that hurts, right? It doesn't hurt, right? But it's dynamic. And so it's a good, I would do 30 of these, 10 a day, 10 a time, I would be doing this more actively. So Michael, what are you doing here? How are you coming in? He's pushing in. So instead of just taking your head back, I want you to come forward, lengthen from your pubis bone to your chest, Michael, as you come up. As your dad pushes in, you got to get your spine moving, not just your head, and then release. Right? Yeah, so there you go. That's what we're trying to get to move, right? Again, try it again. So is your low back getting tired? Are you okay? What? You're getting tired there? Good. Hit down, rise up, right? Mm-hmm. So now what we're going to want, to turn the chair around. So here, I want you to come even more forward if you can. So put your hands up here. Extend beyond your chair, right? So put your wrists on the chair if you can. So I just want Michael, if you can get his hands up on another blanket, just a little bit higher, or another bolster, right? So he's forced higher, right? So in a second, Kat, I'm going to ask you to do a yoga pose. Okay, you can just, it won't be in a minute or two. Okay, so you might want to get a sticky man. So as your arms and extend out beyond your fingertips if you can. Okay, now as your arms are straight, it's going to get harder to move your upper thoracic, right? I want you to keep with your arms straight, push in from here, and lengthen your arms. Lengthen your arms. I'm talking to you, Elizabeth, right? Yep. Right? So I want you, and then release. And get that again, because when your arms are up like this, right, you're going to really want to go from your low back. Do it again. So we're putting pressure right between the shoulder blades as you come in again. Remember, we're kind of doing this rise, and then we're releasing. And then in from the upper back. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. And then extend. So if you can get your hand a little lower, on her back, unless it hurts. Good, and then so you're doing this a few different times. Come on, lengthen, Trish. Between the shoulder blades, Russ. Yep. All right. And then take a break. So this should be really hard to do. If you're not doing it, you're going to think this is easy. It's not easy. Trying to coordinate lengthening your arms and moving from between the shoulder blades is not an easy thing to do. So, Kat, come here for a second. So we're just going to do Virabhadrasana 1. So I want you to watch for a second. Take your arms down. Okay, so this pose is really hard. It's a warrior pose. It's actually really quite hard. And the poses that are called Virabhadrasana 1, Virabhadrasana 2, Virabhadrasana 3 are actually, I'm going to get behind you. Let me get behind you. Okay, so are actually called warrior poses because they take so much will. Okay? So one of the really challenges of this pose is that your arms have a hard time going straight. And she's got a flexible low back. You can see her flexible low back here, right? But the real struggle is from here up, right? And take your arms back a little bit, right? Not to just engage here, but to engage here. Because if she doesn't get this to come forward, awareness doesn't go back to the back leg as well. If she does it, just, I'm going to over-exaggerate. Don't let me hurt you, right? Like pushing in here too much. See how the back leg loses? She's got to stay back and open here to support her arms. This is a really hard move, right? And it's in a lot of poses. It's going to be in all the inversions too, right? And take your arms down. So what we're trying to do is get you up with, and then go to the other side. So we're trying to get you up. And so this is one of the poses, standing poses you teach for an inversion practice, right? Because the ribs learning to come into the body is part of what helps you balance upside down, right? So we're trying to get this action with this going in and the arms going back to be part of and this is what we're doing at the chair now. So I want you to take it even now, and then release. I want you to take it even more seriously at the chair now. So I would, again, Elizabeth, I'd get closer to the chair. I'd scoot forward a little bit. So Michael, your dad's going to push in there. And you got to lengthen and look up. So in Virabhadrasana 3, that was 1, pardon me, you go in and you look up. So here, it's okay if you bend your knees a little bit. Because remember, one leg is bent in this pose, right? So bend your right leg back a little bit more without getting to kick. And if the chair's not going to work for you, don't worry about bending your knee then. Right, but one leg straight, one leg bent, if you can do it, right? Put your hands on the chair and watch what Kat was doing. You try to extend up, but have you noticed to do that, you have to hit through your sitting bones, right? Otherwise, you're just cracking your low back, you're just doing your low back. The sitting bones are like Kat's back heel, right? She's got to get the sitting bones to hit, you got to hit your sitting bones back to get the rise. So you're trying to lengthen your arms, broaden and open your chest. Now look up, but from your tailbone, not from your neck. Look up from here, there. Feel how that energy goes down to your sitting bones too? That's the standing pose, right? That's how you feed your legs in a standing pose, and then release. Is this being too easy for you, Russ? Yep. How about you, Sue? It should be hard, right? The key, remember, one of the principles in a yoga pose is you have to go down to go up, but it's also up can teach you down, right? And that's kind of, you're getting all the drama of the pose to go up, but that should show you how to go down too, right? So we're going to do it again. Tell me if it hurts, right? I'm going to put my hand in there and do it a little bit more active, but if it hurts your skin, let me know. Okay. So, are you okay? Is that okay? Is that okay or does that hurt? Is it bad uncomfortable or okay uncomfortable? So lift the front of your sternum. I'll just stay for a while. There you go. and then release. So what I want you to do is when we just did that little thing, I want you to pull her arms longer, right? So stand in front of her, right? And so so just do a couple of these, right? As I push you in, there you go. And then release. And then again, one more, lift up, there you go, perfect. That's great, Carol. One more time. There you go, that's the pose. Good, so you okay? Was that a groan of pain? You okay over there, Carol?
Yep.
Okay, all right. All right, now take a break, lay flat on your back. We're still going to use the chair. Okay. So, do your legs come up at all? So get a chair for in front of her, if that's okay. Right? All right. So, here you are. So, I might have Kat do the pose one more time. Will you do it one more time? Okay. Yep. So turn the other way. So I want you to try to look up here for a second. Watch what's going on. What I want you to get is that okay.
I'm
So
just watching my toe next
no, me too. Yeah. Don't worry, I got it on my mind. Okay. So as she takes her arms up, right? And remember, I was pushing on her here. What I want her to get is that this is also to help her go through her back heel. Right? As the arms go up from a deeper place, this energy goes in all directions. It's being guided down the legs. The action looks like it's here, but it's coming more from the legs, and then switch. Right? So, because we're going to do this inverted now. Your foot's going to be up on a chair, and I want you to work your arms so well that it actually helps your legs. You're just watching it in the other reverse. Your legs won't get in the same position. Because remember, this comes in. She stretches up to ground down. So I'm teaching her backwards. Usually you teach this pose from the ground up. I'm trying to say this energy has to go in both directions. It actually goes in all directions, right? And then release. But we're simplifying it into one direction. So the trick here on the floor is that you're actually getting the hand into your back. It just feels so good, you're not processing it anymore. You're thinking about it just as relief, right? So I want one foot up on a chair. We'll do it with a straight leg rather than a bent leg. Well, actually, put the chair in, put the calf on the back of the chair. Turn towards her, yep. Bring it in. So the down leg goes straight down, yep. The bent leg, okay, do you see how you're not that far from the position right now? Okay. Lengthen from your inner groin up through your inner knee and extend the top of your head away as you hit down through the down leg. Can you see all those instructions? Can you see how they go together? So you've got to make the floor without the floor. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then that's going to be the base. That'd be if I teach you from your legs up. We're going to try to do that the opposite direction with your arms over your head. All right. So your legs up on the chair. This is trying to be a little bit bent, right? So you're like Kat's front leg. You're good. Take your head down. You're good. All right. So one foot can't go up, one can't go down. So this goes up, but I was wondering, the foot pedals go up. Could you put it up on one chair? Keep this back down. Put the chair in and put one of her heels on the back of the chair. See what I'm saying? So we're not using the footrests. So, right, although your chair does all this amazing stuff, could you bend that back down and put the thing back down? All right. See what I'm trying to say to her? So one leg's down, one leg's up. This is great. See, we got a family affair over here. They're figuring out the pose, and this makes me really happy. right? Because one of the premises or one of the thoughts of mind-body solutions or the visions of mind-body solutions is that everybody should get access to the life force that happens from the spine through the limbs. So we do a lot of help and props and stuff. And so now take your arms up over your head. So we're gonna do tag teams where you're gonna pin everyone's hips from each side with each foot right in, right? All right, so now you got this thing, right? So I would put a bolster so she doesn't have to come all the way down. It's too far for her shoulders. So so let's get everybody to put their arms back on a bolster when they're over their head. So, because otherwise what'll happen, Sue, take your arms back over your head. What'll happen if you're hanging in midair is that you will cut the Shavasana part of the pose. It won't be in the pose. All right, so we're preparing, we're getting all set up for a couple of Virabhadrasana I's. So the more, Elizabeth, that you can mirror every pose through your abdomen, where your leg positions are, where your arms are, you're going to get more dynamic force through the pose, right? And it's probably about the vagal nerve. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on, right? But it's like you want to see a mirror always of where your legs are to where how your abdomen's firing, right? Because that's going to be, because remember, the other thing is that so everyone, I want you to be more aware of your abdomen. I'll talk to you more about it later. So, all right. So now, remember, you're trying to stretch. Do we have eye bags? Okay. All right, so take your arms over your head. Now stretch out your arms, but let your actual, between your shoulder blades, come forward up off the mat. Stretch out through the down leg as you do that. Remember, the seat of consciousness, the down leg, not that leg, right? The seat of consciousness is actually between your shoulder blades. So open that, go in and up, stretch out through the down leg, through beyond your fingertips. Good, and then release. So we're doing it simple first. So right now, I'm just instructing your arms over your head and how to stretch out through the down leg, okay? And so remember, what we're doing now, it'd be the equivalent of when I was pushing in on Kat's shoulder blades, and I was telling her to reference the back leg. I want you to be working as that comes in and you stretch your arms. I want you to really work the down leg on the floor, okay? Give it a try again. Not yet. All right, so extend, give them another bolster, right? Take your arms over your head, bring the center of the chest up, but extend down through the down leg as you go beyond your fingertips. Extend in both directions as you're activating between the shoulder blades. Activate between the shoulder blades without muscular action, but do it with consciousness. Know that it's the seat of your consciousness and become dynamic in there as you extend. Good, and then release. So now here's the problem. You have to do that. Release a second to give your arms a break. You have to do that while having a bent knee, while bringing the bent knee slightly towards your chest. So the thing about a standing pose that's so effective is that your legs are being asked to do things connected from each other, but independent of each other. So do the pose one more time. We do the, that way. So, okay, the challenges for your brain in a standing poses are many, right? And I'm trying to make you have some of them on the ground or in your chair. So what's surprising is that this groin has to release as this leg hits back. Okay, the femur bone has to be back. So you actually have to have a bent knee and a lengthening knee, right? A lengthening leg. And that balance between the two helps this rise. But you have to differentiate your two legs and then take your arms down. Do the other side. And the problem is I want you to really try to work your legs differently from each other. Because instead of getting it just in this pose, I want you to get the differentiation between the two legs. So again, that's releasing, which means it's going into the floor. So the heel has to stamp and the shin has to lift. This is hitting back, and all this helps what we were already doing in the pose. Okay, good, and then release. So now I want you to take that plot in your back, go up, stretch out beyond your fingertips, down through the down legs, and bring the knee back to your chest. Let that bend be there. I don't mean bend your knee and hit your knee with the end of your chin. I mean differentiate between your legs. Do it in your abdomen. Can you see where it's in your abdomen, right? And extend in both directions. So you're stretching out through the down leg, you're lengthening beyond your fingertips, you're activating the seat of consciousness, and you're differentiating between your legs. Breathe. Good, and then release. So the next time she does that, help her take her head slightly back, be really gentle, and maybe even to help her take her head back by pulling her collarbones a little bit. So one more time. So try to get behind her. Activate everything. Oh my God, don't just use your will. Notice I've been using my voice to make you use your will. But now, on this last time, I want you to work just as hard and don't use your will too much. Let the fact that you're on the floor temper your will, but still use your will to move the pose. Again, your consciousness has more dimensions than your mind knows. Good, and then release. So how did you guys not use your will as much? What did you do? I'm curious. Sue, tell me. You got a scowl on your face. That means you have to talk. Without losing the integrity of the pose, right? Life takes will. Consciousness takes a balance between will and surrender. When you're going for power, you only go will. I'm telling you, back body awareness would help our Congress. They're not doing it. They don't want to do it because they think they get vulnerable to power. Right? So you have the back body awareness here. So this time, one more time, go in all directions, do the pose that Kat was doing. And if assistants can come and push on the bent leg foot, push through the heel into me, but take the knee. You're going out through both heels, right? But the knee's still going out up to your chin, right? And then down through the down leg, right? Now hit your whole abdomen back into the floor as you lift your sternum up a little bit. And there you go, and extend out there. Can you feel all this? Can you breathe and soften the inside of your mouth now? Breathe. Good, and then release. So I'm thinking we won't do the other side just because I want you to feel off balance the whole week. Next week. But I won't be here for next month. Switch legs. So perhaps, probably, the greatest and worst thing that's ever evolved in human evolution is our frontal cortex. Right? It actually makes us more human, but also more subject to the need for power and control. Right? Because human beings actually think they're in charge of things. How human beings actually started to think that they were primary and the earth was secondary, is a stunning departure from the truth perpetrated by the frontal cortex, right? So it's letting your poses be more coming from your spine is actually tempering your need to control and your will, right? And that's part of what yoga is teaching you in a really deep way, is that you're actually stronger. Right now, I would say the United States is incredibly weak. We are doing things and we're weakening at an alarming pace. Our consciousness is weakening and getting more fragile, so we're getting more like that, right? And it's partly because we're not actually realizing that the issue's in our own mind-body relationship too, right? So take your arms up over your head. All right, so remember, we went through this whole sequence. And quite frankly, your digestion and your abdomen most likely preceded your brain in evolution, right? That the brain didn't come without a way to get nourished. So when I'm telling you to mirror the pose in your abdomen, I'm asking you into a different part of your nervous system, the one that's more connected. Okay, so now stretch out beyond your fingertips. Remember, we stayed in a vertical line. You have to bring the center of the consciousness, center of the chest up, stretch beyond your arms, and go out through the bottom foot. So we're taking it just now on a vertical line, even though you have one leg bent, but it's actually a horizontal line. You're in a straight line. Go beyond your fingertips and stretch out through the down leg. But use the center of your chest as an activation point to extend out beyond your fingertips and through the down leg. So you're staying, this is great. I like this. Do you like this or not? Right? You can say no. It's all right. Good. And then release. But wait, I'm just doing yoga. I'm not actually realizing things about power. Incorrect. Incorrect. Our only hope is that there's a microcosm here. We can work on this individually too. That's the hope, right? All right, take your arms back over your head. And remember, we're activating that it's now horizontal but on the floor, but you're trying to lift your sternum, lengthen beyond your fingertips, stretch out through the bottom leg. Try to take a couple breaths, but realize deep breaths will be counterproductive, right? Deep breaths will take you away from the straight line that you're following now. You want to be breathing and extending. Good, and then release. So now remember, like we did on the first side, you're going to be activating that knee coming back towards you. So you're going to differentiate your legs as you're working on this horizontal plane, which actually would be vertical if you were standing up. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of crazy crap. Kind of like magical realism in 100 Years of Solitude, right? But the thing is, our consciousness is magical. The thing about that's actually the thing that happens in 100 Years of Solitude is that the core family, they're a bunch of alchemists trying to change everything into gold, and they're trying to they believe in the mystery of the universe, but they try to use scientific method on it, and it's like the consciousness is magical, even though it can't turn lead into gold. It's already magical. And we've lost that. We've lost it. We think it has to make overt transformation. No, it needs subtle transformation. Take your arms over your head. You can tell I'm thinking a little bit too much about this damn book, what it's teaching me, right? Or reminding me of. All right, so now You're extending in both directions. Don't not use the bolster, though, or else you'll fatigue funny, right? Roll the inner thigh of the down leg in and down. Stretch out through the heel. Take the center of the chest up without lifting off the ground. That'd be magical realism because that's almost impossible. Extend beyond your fingertips. Now start taking the knee back towards your face without moving it. Good God. In other words, differentiate between the two legs. So if you can put your knee into her bent knee or her thigh into her bent knee, she'll get to know where the legs is too. So you're having one femur bone going one way, one femur going another way, the center of your conscious, seat of your conscious coming up slightly, extending you in a straight line, and bending your leg, and breathing, and that's Virabhadrasana I. Good, and then release. Yes, no, maybe so? You just humoring me? You might be humoring me.
Maybe.
Oh, the truth hurts. That's all right. My point is you can make a pose dynamic if you engage not just your limbs, but your spine and your abdomen, right? Take your arms back over your head. So now, remember on these last couple, although I've been barking instructions at you and activating your will, now I want you to know that it's impossible to do all the things just with your will. So stretch beyond. My voice is getting softer now, right? So now feel the pose more. Keep the will in the pose. The chest does come slightly up between the columns. You roll the inner upper thigh, the down leg down. Take the knee back. Extend beyond your fingertips. And now notice you maybe can breathe better when I'm not barking at you so hard. Go in every direction between your arms and legs and keep the pose centered between the shoulder blades today. Good, and then release. So I'm curious, do you think it was more yoga when I was barking at you or when it was a softer voice? That's for you. He likes barking. Mm-hmm. But the thing about the will is that it also needs to be tangible, otherwise you're just laying there. So one of the things that the ancient texts will talk about is you have to balance a burning desire, and I'm going to paraphrase, with more connected consciousness. And your connection comes from surrender, not from action. It comes from your back body being supported. One last time. Do the whole pose. On this side, I'm not even going to bark. Make this the best one yet. Know that the back side of your pose is as important as the front side. Know that and take the straight leg down and the bent leg, differentiate between the legs, find the seat of consciousness, surrender there, have that surrender fill your limbs, breathe. Good. And then release. You like the softer one better? Instead of me barking right over your face? I hope I didn't spit on you at the same time. Yeah. No, me too. The thing is that you got to learn to activate the will and have it be tempered or led by surrender, not the other way around. Right? But the will needs to activate too, and that's part of the challenge, is to do both. All right, I think you deserve to be racked. All right, teams. So put your leg down, Carol, and then we can, open your chest and pull out on your knees. So if you two can be a team for her, we might ask you to do more than Michael, right? Is that okay? You might rack someone else. Mm-hmm. Bring the chair away. Why do you think people can be so ugly on Twitter? It's because it's just words. It's not the actual cow, it's the label next to the cow. So we're going to come around and rack you. It'll feel good in a second. Have you ever been racked down there? You ever have had your arms being pulled in both directions? It feels good. We'll help. Yeah. Take your head back a little bit, Carol. Yep. That'd be actually the surrender part. That changes how the energy feels. There you go. You did it again. You're letting it in now. Good. And then team switch. Other people need to be racked. Can you tell me, what is your teacher's first name again? Russell? It's what? Diana, right? Yeah, Diana, yeah. From Iowa City, right? Yeah. All right. So as you're waiting here, twist, right? Yeah, because back bends grip things too much. So twists are often coming after back bends because you need to undo all the grip. And back bends are more felt. Twists are more felt than standing poses. And so you need to go from all the analytic to something that feels. But how this functions in the pose, see, that can teach the release too, right? I've been teaching it from Will, but you can feel it, how it feeds into the twist. Yep. This is awesome. I like this. Do you like being racked or not? Yep. So come get Catherine. Catherine, no, it's Elizabeth. What the hell? Catherine, come help Elizabeth. That's what I was trying to say. Rack. No, rack. She's going to rack. You already been racked? Oh, for God's sakes. Are you leaving? Oh, yeah. Oh, just skip it. This class is better. Yeah, me too. But it's not a good idea. Makes your life worse. So has everyone been racked? Good, good, good. All right. And then everyone... Oh, we have a little bit of time. All right. So knees up into your chest. And assistance may help, like twist. So the knees go over to the side. As you, like if your knees go right, stretch out through your left arm. So for you, Carol, I think that you should just twist a little bit. So you're going to take one hand outside the leg over here. And you're just going to help her from the backs here, right? Right, and just a little bit, so more lower. So it's not how far you come, Carol. Now lengthen the front side of your spine. Lengthen, there, that's the twist, okay? So just let it feel good, Russell, coming from Iowa City. Yeah, let him help you. Yeah, because that's a real drive. Good, and then release. Go to the other side. So is Elizabeth, we're going to be a doctor or I think it's med school. That's torture. We should be really nice to her. She's going to Hawaii? All right, this is good. So get that twist and let yourself fall open with your spine getting ringed. Especially because I cued so much between your shoulder blades, you probably gripped it too much muscularly. It needs to let go. You need, especially in this Shavasana, it's really hard to lift your sternum when you're laying flat on the ground. And you end up over-flexing everything. That's why we're twisting. Good, and then back to center. And I want you to take the help because I want you not to use your will to twist so much. All right, so go first side again. Get better at it, everybody. And then you can make it more yoga, like the stretching out through the back arm. Letting as you're twisting, whatever direction you're twisting, unless you're going to the left, or we're going different directions, but the opposite side body of the knees you're going has to roll back towards the floor. And then that feeds the back arm. So don't just stretch the back arm, let that whole side of your body, so part of your abdomen is following your knees, and part of your abdomen is following the back side, the opposite side. And so you're getting opposite actions going on in your abdomen. One wrong way, but simple way of thinking about it is that the lower part of your abdomen follows the knees and the upper part of your abdomen follows the back arm. But it's deeper than that. It's like, yeah. Good, and then come on back up. And go the second way. Usually how I cue it that it's deeper is to tell you as you're twisting and you're following the back arm with the upper back and your lower abdomen is following the bent knees, I tell you to lengthen out your tailbone and out through the top of your head. That's usually how I tell you to deepen it. So know that core axis, but then take the whole side of your body opposite the knees down towards the floor, out through the back arm as you follow your knees. So to do that, you have to lengthen the spine because your spine already goes in every direction. Good, and then come on up. Now it's time for Shavasana. By the way, this class wore me out, just so you know. That was a lot of barking. Yeah. Yeah. So, if I were an assistant, I'd do this Shavasana too. Yeah, sure. Now, letting go is an art. Surrendering your weight and not having your mind, which is an illusion, your mind tries to hold everything up. It doesn't have to. Make sure to receive the floor. You soften around the temples, the skin on the forehead, the jaw, and the inside of the mouth. Come on, let your mind ungrip. Use the body to ungrip the organs of perception, to get the brain out of control of the pose. Even soften the base of your tongue so you can relax your inner ear. Really important now to relax your belly. Relax your belly to relax your throat. Relax your throat to relax your belly. Trust the hum. The solitude of Shavasana is nourishing. Because it's unifying. Feel your breath. Don't change it. From a place of peacefulness, thank your body. Thank it again. Start to bring yourself back. Slightly deeper inhalation, slightly longer exhalation. When you're ready, and if you can, bend from the elbow and place your hands lightly on your rib cage or abdomen. So, in a second, open your eyes. So some of you got to take off your sandbag. Gently open your eyes and then close them again because the light comes in fast. And then choose to open them knowing what's coming. And then if you can, bring your hands into prayer Namaste. If you can't bring your hands together, do it with the center of your chest. Namaste. The spirit in me bows to the spirit in you. So one of the things that I think that so much can be seen and felt in writing or a good book, because there are a lot of people out there who have been there before you, and they're describing stuff for you, whether it's fiction or not, right? And it's one of my favorite lines from David Whyte when he's talking about Rilke. And David Whyte, who is a fabulous philosopher poet, right, says Rilke's always been there before you, and it's a good thing. 100 Years of Solitude is been there and thought so deeply about the absurdity of war and the battles of ideas that when we don't really battle for ideas, we battle for power. And that's the world that we have to change, right? And so like I was telling you, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody last night, and I love the song We're the Champions, right? Because that's who's got to change it. All right, have a good class. You had a class. Have a good night and week. All right.
Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, and don't forget to turn on your notifications.